As I'm driving to my office this morning, Bitcoin is now over $11,000. This has been kind of the craze over the last couple of months of the meteoric rise of Bitcoin. And everyone's talking about it. Should they own Bitcoin? Where is it going to go next? And I want to talk a little bit about that because there is a distinct difference between being an investor and being a speculator. You need to understand the difference, and you need to know when to do each, right? So first of all, what is going on with Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a currency. It is not a company that sells a product. It is simply a currency. And for a lot of reasons that I won't go into right now, it has really gained popularity. But I believe, and I'm willing to go on the record right now and say that it has all the makings of a bubble where people have just become emotionally invested and emotionally tied to this thing as something that's going to make them rich, and they don't even understand what it is that they're buying. When that happens, that is when we begin to kind of lead into bubble territory where things are moving upwards, not for fundamental reasons, but just for emotional reasons. And at some point, that will burst, right? Now, it might go from 11,000 a day to 20 or 30 or 40,000 before it does crash. But those types of things don't typically last. And so to make money in that, it's basically like musical chairs. You hope to get in, ride the wave a little bit, and then get out before the music stops. And that is a speculation game. That is not what an investor does. That's what a speculator does. Now, sometimes it's okay, but you have to really feel like you understand that business, and you have to also be willing to lose all of the money that you put in, because that is not a highly predictable, fundamentally driven business. Now take that and compare that with something like Coca-Cola. Here's a company that has been around a long time. They make regular products that people need, soft drinks, vitamin water, fitness drinks. They operate their business to where they, bring in revenues, spend money, expense on their business, and then they generate a profit at the end of the day. And they have done that pretty consistently for a long time. So when you buy stock in Coca-Cola, you're making a fundamental decision that is based on a lot of information that your investment has a higher probability of doing what you think it's going to do. Now, it doesn't mean that it will absolutely. It doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but that is a fundamental investment that is based on, logic, and it's based on research, and it's based on just good quality information, compared to Bitcoin, which is just kind of the fad or the wave that people are riding right now. So you need to be careful anytime that you look at an opportunity, and when things become popular like Bitcoin has become, not to get kind of sucked into this and become blind to the fundamentals, but to know what you're looking at and saying, can I make a judgment call that, is 11,000 a good price? Should it be worth 1,000, 5,000, 20,000? Warren Buffett said, the market does not instruct me, the market serves me. What he means by that is he doesn't look at a price like 11,000 on a Bitcoin and say, well, that must be what the market's worth. The market's not instructing him, the market serves him. So he has to feel like he knows what the value is. And if he knows the value is 1,000, he would never buy it at 11 because it's way overpriced. If he knows the value is 30,000, he'd buy it all day at 11 because he can let that move back up to its real value. But here's the caveat, and this is why, you take a guy like Warren Buffett, probably doesn't own a lot of Bitcoin. The reason is because if he can't determine that, he doesn't invest. So he has to be able to feel like he can determine the value and know the value of the investment before he invests. And if he can't, he's going to stay away. There's plenty of other things. So be careful. If you're someone that feels like you have a handle on these things and you have money to lose, then, every now and then speculation is fine, just like going to a casino is fine every now and then. It can be fun, but if it becomes all-consuming, and if you're spending money that you can't afford to lose, that's when it becomes a problem. So don't get sucked into that. Make sure you're making good fundamental decisions on your investments, and really win that financial freedom race slow and steady rather than trying to just hit these home runs. So that would be my focus. Be an investor, don't be a speculator.